Hi Cancer, the Awakened Dreamer here to give you your mid-month money and career tarot reading for the month of April 2022. Thank you so much for joining me. And I do want to remind you, as always, this is general, so just take what resonates. And as well, thank you in advance for your love and support in the form of likes, comments, and subscriptions if you haven't done so already. Now, to book a personal reading with myself, just reach out via email. Everything you need lies down below in the description box. Just shoot me a quick email. Once again, I'll get that started for you. They're always accurate and very much affordable. But as well, on a side note, I started a TikTok page where you'll see little videos, clips of motivation, little readings, stuff you can't or won't rather see on this specific page. So at some point moving forward, do hop on over there and subscribe. The link is down below as well. The overall message, more importantly, I channeled for you: reaping the rewards you deserve. Reaping the rewards you deserve. Very nice. Let's begin, and we're going to jump right into it by pulling some tarot. All right, we're using the Light Seers deck. They're saying very headstrong, very much knowing what you desire, or just knowing what you're doing, okay? Feeling very determined all the meanwhile. You're very spiritually connected in the second half of the month. A level of secrecy exuding from oneself for one reason or another, as those rewards do flow in, knowing what's not meant for you, period, or being pushed to remember that at the very least. Not in the mood at certain points in the second half of the month, but simply doing what you have to, feeling as if some of you work a job that isn't as pleasant or enjoyable as you would like, or you just are wrapping up a situation that feels it feels like you've outgrown it, okay? Or you could simply just be burnt out. All right, this came out in reverse, but I'm going to keep in the upright because it just feels right this way. Being pushed to recognize when you feel this lack of fulfillment, when you feel that fulfillment, and where do you feel the need to head as far as movement goes, progress, right? Within your career, climbing that ladder, and as well when it comes to financial investments, including living situations. Where do you see oneself the happiest? That matters. That should be priority number one. Following, of course, the career success and the money, the stability, the comfort. I just feel like you are thinking a lot about your family, or lack thereof, which you could be thinking about how a move of resonance is going to transform your life for the better, period. But it just feels like it can't happen just yet. Death and rebirth, you're going through a lot of changes. You're changing through your work, your career. People are seeing you as someone who started a job or began a business and is no longer the same person, or in a lot of ways isn't the same person. You're finding that people are seeing you as somebody who's glowing and growing all the meanwhile, even if you're feeling quite depleted and sometimes not in the mood. You're finding that when you wrap oneself up with what makes you feel abundant, fulfilled, more so, happy, alive, even emotionally fulfilled, or just simplistic in that sense, you are growing and glowing all the meanwhile. Once again, you're feeling 10 times better. You feel as if things just are aligning for oneself. But when you stick with the situation, or things don't feel perfectly healthy for oneself within your career, within a living situation, it's going to limit oneself as far as the progress you're meant to maintain, or just begin in one way, shape, or form. That was a lot, and I feel like at times you go on rants to that extent where you might lose the people who you're trying to convey to, right? Or you want to absorb what you're saying. Simplify, okay? Simplify so you can get your point across, so you can get what you desire as well. If you're interviewing in the second half of the month, simplicity is the name of the game. Don't overly try to impress. Just think of it as a professional conversation where you need to be you and only you, right? And own the fact that you're still discovering who you are, as I feel like you do have a lot going on, but there's a lot of communication, even some that you initiate in the second half of the month. Some you expect to be a form of healing, and it overcomplicates to a certain extent. So think twice as to who you wrap oneself up with, feeling as if things are moving quickly as you don't fully get as the future of a business that is progressing to an extent, or the future of your job, or the future of a specific move, a living situation, you name it, however it pertains to you. You are reaping rewards throughout the second half of the month, but there's the potential not to see the rewards even, or to minimalize it in one's mind because you are so focused on what you can't see, what you don't expect, or just could potentially be expecting the worst. Okay? Allow for oneself not to compare the past to the present or your future. Try your best to stay present, as that is going to be your best chance of staying connected to the rewards in a multitude of forms, the abundance that's flowing in for oneself at this time. As people are putting you on stage to a certain extent, noticing you for a leap of faith you took or plan to take moving forward, and a need to just flow like the water sign you are, ride the waves towards change, and just breathe, okay? Breathe. I feel like certain levels of attention might make you a bit on edge, or just come towards you when you aren't ready for it, right? It's one of those situations where you're like, okay, well, you weren't paying attention or didn't notice me, or I wasn't feeling like I was on stage or under the spotlight when I was ready for it, or more in the mood, right? Feeling healthier. Anyways, just adapt in the second half of the month, because I feel like certain levels of attention could benefit you, right? Lead you towards new opening doors, or just new connections, or some healthy advice flowing in one way, shape, or form, a chance to heal potentially. They're saying it's the conversations you don't expect that will help, okay? And that goes both ways, from you helping others and others helping you. Ten of Wands, things feel a bit heavy, all right? There's a burden that needs to be put down moving forward, but again, it feels very difficult to do so in the second half of the month. There just isn't the time. Gaining a level of justice in the midst of not being in the mood, rejecting opportunities left and right potentially, or just, I'm seeing somebody scrolling on their phone or online, just being like, yeah, no, being very picky. And so be it. You owe it to oneself to be picky, not to settle at this point along your path. But don't be so stern in one's mind, closed off in one's mind, that you so quickly scroll past an opportunity that could be right for you, okay? Just be strategic all the meanwhile. Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords. You are feeling a bit stressed all the meanwhile, all right? You could find that in the midst of work, there's just a major headache or something of the sort, or you find that somebody just is very, very vocal as you're trying to maintain a level of secrecy or discrepancy in a lot of ways. Could potentially be towards the end of a job, or just within trying to plan for a new move of residence or something of the sort. And it's like, damn, I'm just trying to figure everything out. You know, someone who you're connected to outside of your finances and your career might just want an update, and it's hard for you to recognize that. It feels like it's hard for them to recognize that you are just trying to do your own thing and figure it out for oneself. But I feel like you're being reminded that there is a level of victory on the horizon for you, but also you're being pushed to reflect on a level of victory from your past as well. And that will help you when figuring out how to move forward. You're gaining a level of clarity in regards to a next big move, a big shift for oneself, and it's going to help you breathe and not stress over everything all the meanwhile. Again, feeling very concrete in your mind as to what you want, right? Even if you stress over the future, or over how things are going to come to be, right? Feeling as if change is a must, change is on your mind. Feeling as if you need to be peaceful, but finding it's hard to do so due to your emotions or your mindset or outside factors at times. They're saying certain obstacles. Finding as if people are just noticing you again for desiring a change, making one recently, or just finding as if the success that you're experiencing, the justice that's coming in, is hard to feel amazing about. But you need to allow for oneself to breathe and recognize that you deserve the rewards, the success in general online, or just through your job, through your business, the clientele, customers, the money that's helping you feel more comfortable in the second half of the month. You deserve to feel really good about that. As I showed somebody just gradually smiling without showing their teeth, right? It feels like you almost feel guilty for desiring something new. I don't know why that's coming out, But with the Ten of Pentacles and the Six of Swords, it's as if you're thinking about being pushed to prepare for sailing away from what no longer works for you, being guided, pulled towards a happier lifestyle for you, more financial comfort, potentially a chance to save money, warmer weather for some. It just feels like you're going to recognize that things are falling into place for you and that you do need to heal before a fresh start, to release an old version of you potentially, old views, old ways, old habits, you name it. I know that sounds like a lot, but it just feels like your honesty with others is helpful, right? Especially through your work. Your honesty with oneself is even more so important, critical at this time. Crucial is what they're saying. In your out of respect for what you're moving towards, as you do desire movement, travel, you may find that travel is inevitable, and you just want to fly towards the new, as all the rewards you desired, or most of which do flow in, fall into your lap throughout this second half of the month. Do it all your hard work and effort, right? The ups and downs, the lefts and rights, but try to enjoy them once again, as you are very abundant, and people see that, to say the very least. All right? So I hope this was truly helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Go have yourself an amazing rest of the month, and I'll definitely see you next time. Bye, Cancer.